Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
I might have cut that a little too early. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Going Beyond the Castle. I don't remember the last time it was just Lori and I. This is kind of it's kind of nice. I hope Fred's not listening.
Probably when he was well, I don't know. I know for sure when he was on maternity leave.
Oh yeah, we did do that a lot.
But
anyways,
yeah.
Welcome back to Going Beyond the Castle. I am one of your hosts tonight, Ashley Rude. I'm joined by my other co-host, Lori Talamo.
That's the podcast princess. Yeah.
The podcast princess, not wearing the tiara, but it's okay because it's Thursday. We're still getting used to our schedule.
Yeah.
We're still getting into the groove.
I do like the early time, though. I can tell you that. It's sweet.
Yeah, I do like this a lot better. I get to bed on time with this schedule, which is great.
Yeah.
How's your week, Lori?
It's okay. Tuesday was Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah.
Which I do not participate in, but we do get off of work. So
really?
Yeah. The kids are off of school all week. The whole week. Yeah. We're off Tuesday, and so I took advantage of it and literally 12 hours on Tuesday worked on updating all of my Disney vacation planning stuff. We're moving to a new program called Turn, which I love. And so I just sat there because Josh had to work. So I just sat on a sofa and plugged away all day. It was great.
I can't imagine like an event happening here that would cause everything to shut down. Like the only big thing that happens here is really like the Indy 500, and that's just one day.
No. And she's frozen. And she's still frozen.
There we go.
There you go.
I don't know where I left off, but I was just saying,
Indy 500.
Yeah, and like, so what's the thought process behind closing school and like work down for Mardi Gras? Is it because they think that everyone's just not going to come in anyways?
I think, well, for school, so I mean, Mardi Gras starts in January, the parades, but like they call it once this past weekend hits, they call it Deep Gras. It's like, I mean, it's like all day, all day parades. So Monday is called Lundi Gras, and then Mardi Gras on Tuesday. Don't ask me what they stand for, but it's like literally parades all day. And so I think that's why, like for work, we only get Tuesday off.
Okay.
Now the plant, I work at a chemical plant. The plant is still operational, but the office people get off. And I think it's too because a lot of roads are closed. People can't get to work. And so the kids, I don't know why they get the whole week off. I never understood, I'm like, I could say Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. Maybe they feel like Wednesday because, parents might be hungover and can't get the kids to school.
Yeah.
But to have Thursday and Friday off, it's crazy to me that they get the whole week off.
Yeah.
Which doesn't bother me now, but when the kids were younger and you're working, you have to find childcare.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an extra expense. But
yeah,
the only participation I had in Mardi Gras is when I had to march in the parades with Olivia. I'm not.
And you did 3 of those this year?
We did 3. So Metairie is kind of like Metairie's about 20 minutes away from New Orleans. That's kind of like the family atmosphere. Although through the years it has changed. And to me, it doesn't really feel much like family too much. I mean, you're still walking down the streets and you smelling weed.
Of course.
In various locations. The New Orleans parades, like and we marched through the city. It's pretty intense. It's packed, it's crowded, and then you can also that makes sense.
Beth-
Bethany knows in a
Yeah, hold on.
Lundy is Monday.
Bethany
knew
said Lundy
Tuesday-
and Marty are Monday and Tuesday, and it's French. Yeah, see, I didn't even think of that.
I mean, I knew well, Tuesday, Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, but anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it's just really intense because the streets are so packed. And then, like we're marching. Thankfully, the cheer is in the back because you have dance team and band. So like those parents kind of have to make the way a little bit. So by the time the cheer, they've kind of, but I'm not asking anybody to move out the way because you don't know what you're going to encounter.
Yeah.
So we just kind of guide the girls to like, hey, scoot over a little bit if you have to. But
wow.
But yep, that was it. Senior year. So probably the only parades I'll see for the rest of my life are going to be in Disney.
Nice. And how, obviously you don't have to give like an exact number, but how far away are you from like all of the festivities? Like just down the street, or do you have a little bit of a
Like 20
drive?
minutes ish.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not too far. It's not too bad. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
Yep.
Gosh, I was going to say something else, and now I forget exactly what I was going to say. Yep. Great. All right. Anyways, glad it's all finished up, I suppose.
Same. Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I am going to assume you and or Fred did not see Shia LaBeouf get arrested this weekend.
Oh gosh,
At
no.
Mardi
I did see it blasted all over
Yeah.
everything, but did not see. But apparently he was right back out, ready to go, I guess.
You know what's funny? I was listening to a podcast. Was it 2 days ago? It's called Rebel Force Radio. It's a Star Wars podcast, and I just started listening to it. And they're talking about this girl named Kim Goth. And I was like, I've never heard that name before. What's she in? Everything. And I look it up, and she's married to Shia LaBeouf. And I was like, oh, tough week to be Kim Goth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's pretty wild.
all right. Well, happy Mardi Gras week to those of you who celebrate and get to stay out of school all week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Places to follow us. That's what I was going for. If you so choose to interact with us further outside of this podcast, you can find us at beacons.ai/going beyond the castle. You can find us on Facebook. We also have a Facebook group that I always forget the name of, Going Beyond the Castle
Lounge.
Thank you. We have a website, www.goingbeyondthecastle.com. And we're always available to chat. We love when our friends and family and all of our listeners and Bethany come in here to chat with us each and every week, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Without further ado, I'm going to roll into some news. Kind of a big news week, but nothing really like big. I put this on here because I wanted to talk to Fred about it because he can relate. They're redoing the World Discovery Playground in Epcot. And that playground is the most convenient playground I've ever taken my children to. It's like on your way. Oh God, Rob's here.
Hey, Rob.
It's like on your way to Guardians of the Galaxy. And Eli, I don't think he's tall enough to ride it yet. So like Eli and I can just stop at the World Discovery Playground, and Gabby and Kaiser can go ride Guardians of the Galaxy. And I don't know why no one else takes advantage of this because it's so great. And it wasn't much. Like it's just a couple like stepping stones and a few other things for kids to play on. So I'm excited that they're expanding it. It seems so small, but it's going to improve my life when I go to Epcot.
Because you refuse to ride Guardians like a crazy person.
I would be willing to swap if I felt the right way.
Gotcha. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. The other thing is they released the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival menus today. Couple delicious eats, and I feel like some of them were recycled. Like, did you see they had a strip loin?
Oh, like the one that I had for... No, actually, I haven't looked at the menu. As we discussed before, this work week has been kind of crazy. So
yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick.
That thing was so good. And again, like I'm, of course, I haven't coughed all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you go to these festivals and like, who wants to go eat at the American Pavilion? Like, I felt like
Right.
but it was so good. It really was one of my favorite things. And it was tasty.
I'm trying to find it now. There's a fish slider. Doesn't seem terrible. Oh, right here, grilled beef strip loin, tomato risotto, tomato beer blanc, and basil pesto. Is that anything like what you had in the America Pavilion?
No, mine was gosh, I can't remember what kind of like it wasn't called a strip steak. It was something, but it had like some potatoes and asparagus.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. It did have asparagus.
Very yummy.
They have a trio of dips and chips: house-made potato chips with whipped feta, candied lemon, caramelized onion dip, and caviar, and pimento cheese and pickles. I don't hate that. I think it'd be nice to try. I've never had caviar though.
Yeah.
That's my only. Have you had caviar?
Like I don't remember having it. So if I did have it, I feel like it was maybe on some kind of dish, like as a little bit of a topping. I'm not that bougie, but I think the idea of it is what kind of grosses me out a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like if you'd had it, it would have had like a lasting impression on you.
Yeah. Nah.
They have French toast with cinnamon cereal cream and cream sauce, and it reminds me of these pretzels that Katie and I had at the Indiana State Fair, and they had cinnamon toast crunch on them. They were life-changing. Yeah. Fruit cereal. That sounds delicious. There's just a bunch of stuff in here. Honestly, I feel like you can never go wrong with this stuff at Epcot, Flower and Garden, and Food and Wine.
No, absolutely.
Festival of the Arts. So.
Oh, I see the French toast. I pulled up the menu too. With
Doesn't
the little
good.
Yeah, I do. I love French toast.
Me too.
The best French toast I had. Oh no, I had blueberry pancakes. I was gonna say when I went to Summer House on the Lake in Disney Springs.
Oh yeah.
But no, I had the blueberry pancakes. I do love a good breakfast food.
I don't like a breakfast for dinner though. That's my fatal flaw. Like Gabby will make like
really
waffles, sausage, bacon, eggs for dinner, and I'm like, no thanks.
We eat eggs a good bit for dinner.
Yeah, but I made like breakfast
Daddy Josh
sandwiches.
eats eggs every evening.
Did he eat them when we were at Disney?
No.
Oh man.
But like at home, he literally eats eggs every evening with his dinner, like 4 eggs.
What is wrong with that man?
I don't know.
A lot is wrong with him. Cherry floats, meh. Cinnamon beignets, hello.
Yum.
Toss in lemon sugar, lemon glaze, and honey mead blueberry compote.
Ooh, okay, so I don't know if you like flan. I love flan.
I've never had it.
They have a coconut chocolate flan. So it's like it's chocolate cake with coconut custard and a passion fruit caramel. Yum. That sounds good.
I'll pass. Do you see there's just random hot dog?
No.
Spicy hot dog with pineapple chutney and plantain chips.
Yikes.
Yeah, no thanks.
They have a ramen cup. Oh, but it's cold. I don't know that I would like cold ramen.
No.
Cold ramen, noodle salad, and a cup with fresh veggies and grilled chicken.
They had this. The boys and I and Gabby, or maybe I don't remember who was there. It doesn't matter. The beef tenderloin tips in Canada, life-changing.
So good.
Mushroom, bordelaise, whipped potatoes, and garden vegetables. I got it twice when we were there because it was so good. And I feel like it came from Brazil when we did it. But yes, very
Gotcha.
good.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, go to Flower and Garden. Drink the things, eat the things, and I guess tell us how it is.
And look at the flower things.
And look at the flower
The
things,
topiaries.
please.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got a bunch this year. It sounds like Stitch came back. They moved some
I did
stuff
see that.
around.
Yeah.
So, all right, Lori, would you like to take us away on our topic today? The topic is the 2026 Disney planning timeline. When to do what?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess we'll stick to Disney because initially I was like, oh, we could talk about. I mean, for the most part, it's gonna, theme park planning. It's gonna be the same. So it could, I don't know. Universal and Disney are fairly different. So we can maybe throw some extra tips in there if we need to.
Yeah.
But we'll stick to Disney for the most part, which I think we always do.
Yeah.
And so, and I. I was taking my medicine before because I'm still taking steroids. I've been taking steroids since we came home from Disney for the cough. And I took one. Just Josh, like, you still taking medicine? I'm like, yeah, it's like 3 weeks, but I have not coughed all day.
Of course.
But
now you
also,
are.
the more I talk, the more it makes me cough. But anyway,
Yeah.
one of the things, especially being a travel agent, one of the things that people don't understand is like, and I don't know. I guess the first time I went to Disney was in 2014. I did plan it out, but I don't really remember too much about how things were back then. Now that I'm doing it more often for clients, like, you really can't just wing it. I mean, I guess you can
No.
wing it, but you may not have the experience that you want to have. You might miss out on things if you wait too long.
Yep.
And so it's very important to really kind of to start planning as soon as you can. And so, the initial, so Disney typically releases the following year's, so like for 2027, they may release that, sometime over the summer. I feel like it's fluctuated a little bit recently.
I feel like it's typically like late June, maybe.
Yeah. So definitely. And then sometimes they only release it till October. And like,
Yeah.
so you can't book November and December. But if you want to book, if you think you want to go to Disney, it's really good to start looking at that as soon as those dates come out, because one, the earlier you book, the more options you have. You get, you can look at the resort that you want, you can look at the rooms that you want. And so it's very important, to try to start doing that. And it's only $200 deposit. So it's not like you
Exactly.
having to pay, so $200 deposit to lock in the resort that you want and the dates and having that secured gives you a whole year to pretty much pay it off and lock it in, So
Yeah, and I'll say
Sorry.
that no, you're fine. I was gonna talk to give you a break.
Yeah,
And I
thanks.
don't know if you have this further out in the planning sheet, so I'm sorry if I get ahead, but
That's okay.
you can put that $200 down anytime you want, and if a better deal comes out, you can take advantage of that better deal. Like, that's why travel agents are so amazing. Granted, I don't use one because I'm me, and Gabby and I like to switch everything about our trips 50 times before we go, and I don't feel like putting another human being through that. But that's why I'll always recommend a travel agent to anyone, because say you're going, you don't have a deal, you snag a deal, and then a better one comes out. That's what your travel agent's for. They have a dedicated phone line to call and get you
Absolutely.
the best bang for your buck. So putting that $200 down, it provides you so much flexibility in your
Yeah.
scheduling, no matter what. Like, we've put $200 down and waited 7 months and be like, probably not a good time. We've just pulled it back, or we've
Right.
put the $200 down over a year early, so we have time to make
Yeah.
any kind of arrangements we need to do. And we've already done that for our trip in June. We've put the money down. We know we need to save for it, and we're already like, okay, what do we need to do? I mean, we put it down for All Star Sports. I'm not thrilled, but Gabby's like, I kind of want to stay at Pop. I kind of want to do this. So we're keeping an eye on the deals. We're keeping an eye on the flights, and it's moving all the time. And you just have to stay in the know. And like you said, Lori, like, you can't just wait until the last minute and just pull the trigger on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So first, for the record, if anyone is listening or whoever listens to this, don't be like Ashley.
Yeah,
You
don't
are
be
not
like me.
And look, and I'm not, and that's why I've never like really pressured you or anything. And actually, Fred and I are both travel agents, so I would never put you in that situation. And you've been
Right.
doing it forever, but it doesn't bother me. Like I'll have people that ask me now. It depends. If we're going from like a deluxe resort, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to go to, and you're downgrading, and that's a little disappointing. However, I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like that kind of stuff doesn't bother me changing it because I do the same thing with my trips. Like on this last trip that we just went on, how many times did I change my resort? So I get it.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you want one. But that is why it's important to use a travel agent, because you can talk to, you can talk us through it. We can give you the ideas of what, which resorts might fit your personality or what things you might want. But it's never, we're okay with changing. And then,
Yeah, it's never a burden.
no, it's not. So don't book it on your own.
Jen
And
Baker,
no, that,
also a travel agent, is telling everyone not to listen to me and to let the travel
yeah.
agent deal with their crap.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I started doing that, because I love planning things. And so to me, it's fun. Like I like the challenge of looking for different things and working things out. And actually it was one of the points on this one that you brought up too, was in this section. Yeah, lock it in now, because inevitably there's going to be a promotion that's going to come out later. So that's one of the things that we do is the day that the promotion comes out, we're on there, applying it to your reservation. Sometimes it could be that the resort that you picked and the room type, which for some reason Pop Centuries a lot of the times is one of the ones that doesn't always qualify, or there's
Mhm.
only so many rooms, and so they book up really fast. But then we could say, hey, right now you're booked for All Star Sports at this price, but with the new promotion, I can move you over to whatever, and for
Yeah.
basically the same price or a little bit more. But that's one of the things that we'll do is kind of help you figure out what's the best bang. One of the things I tell people, and it's probably not something that I should, but I mean, so I have a full-time job. I do the travel planning. It is a business. I love it. It's part of my business. It's part of my livelihood now. But one of the reasons I started doing it is because I said I love planning. My goal is not to maximize someone's budget. So like I know there are maybe some scenarios where, because of course, the more your trip cost, the more the commission is that they will pay out.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it that way, because I want people to enjoy my services. I want people to be able to go and to be able to go again. So I'm not looking to maximize your budget and make you spend as much money as you can. I'm trying to help you make something work that fits for your family. Hopefully it's a deluxe resort or a moderate,
Yeah,
but
right.
we'll make it work with whatever. And that's what choosing the right tier of resort, the right location, and the flexibility within your budget. I don't ask people for a budget.
That's really
And
wise.
so I know a lot of people do, and I have tossed around with it because sometimes it's difficult, especially if it's a referral and I don't know personally, like kind of with even somebody I know personally doesn't necessarily know that how much they want to spend. So, it kind of puts you in a jam, but I also don't, because I don't ever want anyone to feel like, okay, well, if I tell her this amount, then that's what she's going to max me at. So,
Yeah, like you
and
don't want to put
it has
anyone
worked
in a
so far.
box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, but yes, you got to start at least once those when the prices come out. I mean when it's available, I would definitely start looking.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's always, choosing the right resort for whatever you want to do. Hold on, I had a thought and I want to give it attention before I talk about this. And it's just another
Go for
plug
it.
for travel agents. And me being me, I gave my trip to Jim Baker because she's a travel agent. We had a little snafu with when Guardians of the Galaxy had virtual queues. We had a snafu with it. I called Jen Baker about it, and she called whoever she could to take care of it on her end before I could even talk to anyone on my end.
Yeah.
So that's just like yet another reason, you let your travel agent deal with that stuff because they probably have a better helpline than you can
Yeah.
have.
Especially Mouse counselors, we're a platinum agency, so we have a dedicated platinum line. So,
Yeah.
but and to go along with that, I mean, it's Disney Cruise Line, but just another plug to go along with what you said. I have a client who was they were getting picked up to head to the port, and her father was really sick.
Oh.
And so they had 3 cabins. It was her and her husband, and I think 2 of her children, her mom and her stepdad, and then her dad had one of her kids in his room because you have to pay for 2 no matter what.
Right.
And so while the dad was sick, he had the flu, he could not go on the cruise, and her son was in that cabin. So by the time she left and got to the port, I was able to get them, I called in, got them fixed, got the son moved into the other room, and, got the dad's money refunded because thankfully he had the
Nice.
travel insurance. Well, he had to go get the refund, but I was able to let them know that he wasn't coming so he could process the claim. But anyway, instead of them having to get on the phone and frantically be trying to figure out what to do on the way to the port, by the time they got there, it was handled. So,
Yeah. It's a literal easy button.
yes. But yeah,
Um,
lock it in early.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to choosing your right hotel. I think we've talked about this a million times on this podcast, and here goes a million and one. You want to pick your hotel based on the vibe of your family, how you're feeling about your vacation, and then just factoring in your budget to all of it. But don't tell Lori your budget. If you don't like, we use our hotel rooms to sleep. We don't need anything extravagant out of it. So we are an all-star family. We're a Pops and Dre family. You're gonna go. You're gonna go with the value resorts. If you're looking for something a little more upbeat to where you're gonna enjoy your resort a little more, maybe hang out by the pool, eat somewhere on site at your resort, you're gonna go for a moderate resort. And then if you're looking to be closer to the theme parks, you're looking for luxury and you're going to spend lots and lots more time at your resort. You're going to go for those deluxe resorts. The one big thing about those deluxe resorts is you're right next to Magic Kingdom. You're right next to Epcot and you're steps away. You could walk over there if you wanted to, and that's the real luxury of it all.
Yeah, I know for the longest time I was like, especially after we stayed, I think in Saratoga Springs for one of the cheer things, I was like, I don't have to stay, I don't have to stay deluxe, like I'm fine. But then on my December trip, we stayed, we stayed in Contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
And then the convenience, of walking right to Magic Kingdom or having the monorail right there. But even more like, I'm definitely more of a moderate person. Although I do love pop, but I really enjoyed Caribbean Beach. Now I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't freezing and I could have spent more time at the resort, outside and on the grounds. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but I didn't realize like you can see the fireworks, the Epcot fireworks from Caribbean Beach. And so we were, one night we were walking back to the room and the fireworks were going off. The food was even the quick service food was really good. And
I like their quick
Sebastian's
service
is
food.
probably, the quick service was really good. I think Sebastian's is probably on one of my top lists now. That food was really good. And it's family style. So, like they brought everything out and it wasn't, I didn't feel like we were eating like heavy kind of rich foods like when you go out to eat. It was really good. Bethany's saying the room matters, 3 words, poly club level.
Yeah, I always forget the club level exists.
Yeah, we stayed there for one night in December as well. And in with that, of course, it's a little bit more expensive, but you have the food in the club lounge. And so, you can take advantage of that. Even you don't even have to spend money on food. You can eat breakfast before you go. You come back for lunch or dinner, and you can meet a celebrity.
And you can meet Donna Kelsey.
Right? I'm going to throw in a cough drop really quick.
Yeah, definitely. And, those hotels are so tiered that, like, there's theme park view club level.
Yeah.
What is it called? Water view club level. Like, there's a lot of different tiers, and it's literally based on how you want to experience that resort.
Yep.
But if you're like
Definitely.
me, you're just stuck in the back of All Star Sports, and you cross your fingers that you'll make the walk to the front every morning.
Well, and look, I tell people all the time, like if the room isn't that important to you, then of course stay where you can stay. Stay
Yeah,
where you want to stay. If you rather spend the money on the experiences outside of the room,
yeah,
then make it work. It's just whatever you're comfortable with.
yep,
That way you can go back again.
absolutely. All right, let's talk about when you're 6 to 8 months out. What should you be planning, Lori?
Okay, so and this is fun because again, I just spent and actually Bethany and I like were on the phone. Bethany's one of my travel besties. And actually Bethany is who I'm going to Turks and Caicos with. So
Oh, exciting!
yes, so exciting. But we just kind of work together, like we work in our guides that we send to clients and documents and stuff. One thing about Disney is it is exciting. So you book your room, 10 to 12 months out, and then you're like, gosh, what do I do? There's really not anything that needs to be done at that
No,
point. You can't book dining, you can't do anything. So really what I suggest is just start getting familiar with the app, with the My Disney Experience app. You can look in there to see, look at park maps. Start looking at dining locations, even though you can't book them yet. Now, if you're like me, I'll change that too. Like I have my
same.
favorites, and so like I want to do those and not really try other stuff. But you it's really just the time to start getting familiar. Start looking at all of the parks. If you've never been before and you don't really know what, everybody thinks of Disney Magic Kingdom. You think of, the castle and things like that. But look at all of the parks and just kind of see what's in each park, what's interesting to you, what's interesting to your family. If you're not like me, like I've said it many times before, that I don't like to look at ride videos, or I don't like to look at things because I kind of want to experience it
In
without
person.
knowing what's going to happen in person. But some people aren't like that. Pull up YouTube, and start looking at, different rides and different queues. And, just that's really all you can do to get the excitement, keep it going, is just kind of get familiar with it. If you're going during the holidays, you can look at, like what holiday events they have, what parties they have. Or if it's, which there's almost always a festival at Epcot, so you
Yeah,
can you know, look at what festival is going on. So it's really just kind of like the 6 to 8 month period is really like a waiting game. Um, but it's just use that time to start, kind of getting familiar with what's going on at each
yeah,
park.
definitely. And I think that whenever my wife and I plan our trips, we always plan our park days strategically, like you were talking
Hmm.
about. And I saw your note on here, and I don't know if you took it away, but oh no, it's right there. The crowd calendars. You can find a Walt
Yes.
Disney World crowd calendar on the internet somewhere. Utilize that thing. It'll tell you when it's going to be busy, when it's going to be moderately busy, or when it's going to be not empty
Yep.
but not crazy.
Yeah.
And we take advantage of those times when we know it's not going to be crazy. It, like for
Yeah.
example, we do Labor Day a lot because it's busy that Monday and that Tuesday. It's a little busy. So, we'll plan our week and we won't go to the parks that Sunday or Monday because we know that those
It's
2 days are
packed.
going to be wild. And then we'll pick like an Animal Kingdom for Tuesday because, you still have those Sunday, Monday stragglers that are probably getting their last minute time at Magic Kingdom. So we'll hit Animal Kingdom on Tuesday. So, we try and
Yep.
plan those days strategically. That way we know kind of what we're going to walk into. Same for like a weekend. You're planning a trip for a weekend. All the Florida locals are going to be at the parks on the weekend. So we try and hit the Animal Kingdoms, the Epcots on the weekends. You try to avoid Magic Kingdom at all costs on a weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And so much
Um,
stuff changes too.
a hundred
Like
percent.
there could be, if you've been before, there could be new experiences, or as we know now, there's no more Dino Land, so things could be gone away.
Yeah, and the weather.
It's just the weather. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. those parks were empty when we went to them last month because it was just so dang cold.
Freezing.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, I never want to go when it's that cold ever again.
It was miserable.
It was miserable.
It was so fun though.
Yes, it was fun. And then if it's if you are going during holidays, it's good to check those events too, because you don't want to schedule, Magic Kingdom. If you have base day tickets, you don't want to schedule Magic Kingdom on a party day because you have to get out, by 6. And
and really, everyone is going to be doing that exact thing.
Yeah. I mean, now if you have a park hopper, I do suggest people to go to Magic Kingdom on party days because the crowds are less. But only if you have a park hopper or if you're planning on going to the party and just make a full day of it.
Yeah, that's what I've done before.
Yeah, but it's really just a good time to really learn the app and just kind of get familiar with where things are in the parks. And so that way, when it gets closer and you move to that next phase of planning, you're a little bit more familiar. Or schedule a call with your travel agent during that time.
Yeah.
And you can start talking about the things that, that mean the most to you. So that way they know when it's time, to start planning, how to help you out with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the My Disney Experience app is always changing. I'm sure they release updates monthly and something's always changing over there. So, like Lori said, it's definitely good to be very experienced in navigating that thing.
Yeah. And so one of the changes that I just made, so I used to do because you try to keep people engaged from the time they book. And so I used to send all of my stuff kind of sporadically, like all the information that I gave. But I just changed it to where, when a client books and we secure a deposit, when I update their itinerary, they get a series, they'll get like 3 different guides. One's like a welcome guide with how to set up My Disney Experience. Then they get a park planning guide, which is kind of things that they'll need as they go, but they can start looking over it. They get a dining guide and then a lightning lane guide. And so, because sometimes I feel like people too, like, even though they want to see all of this stuff in advance because they're curious about it. So, just to kind of to help look through that. But those are really the things that you want to think about. Yeah. If you're like me, you'll start thinking about outfits as soon as you book your trip, even though you don't need them.
Yeah. The old planning videos, every year Walt Disney World had a planning video. They throw it out on DVD. You could get it for free if you just called, some dedicated line for Walt Disney World. And like we planned a trip back in 2021, I think, and we took Gabby's parents and her brothers, who were like probably 8 and 9. I was like, oh my gosh, we should get the DVD like for this year, and they can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2021. Disney's not making DVDs anymore. They were like, I even went to their website and was like, how do I get one of these DVDs? And they everything but called me a buffoon.
That's funny.
Because, oh my gosh, you can just go to YouTube and watch any content creator nowadays and see everything you need to.
Yeah, so they don't necessarily need to do it.
Yeah, but I will say I find myself watching those old planning videos quite often. So, if you want a good taste of nostalgia and just to see how far we've come, I definitely recommend watching those for sure.
Gotcha.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Talk to me about 60 to 90 days.
So this is where the fun begins. So dining and extras, the dining and enchanted extras, your window opens 60 days before check-in. So I always recommend, if you haven't yet, like at least 90 days before, start looking.
Definitely.
You really need to know. I mean, I guess you don't necessarily have to know what parks you're going to, but to a certain extent you do. So if you're going to book breakfasts, outside of the park, that's fine. Because then you can just book a breakfast and go wherever. If you want to book a lunch, then you really need to know where you're going, because you're going to book your lunch in the park. If you do dinner, then really you can go anywhere during the day if you have park hopper tickets now. And then do your dinner and you'll just know you're going to hop to that park in the evening. Mm-hmm. But it still takes some strategy, because I like to, if I'm park hopping, I like to put certain parks together. And again, looking at the crowd calendars, looking if there's activities going on that they may close early. But this is really when you want to start prioritizing what's important. If you have certain meals that you know you want to get, you put those on the top of the list. Um, if you want to do some extra things like, the fireworks cruises or dessert parties, or if you have a little girl that wants to do Bippity Boppity Boutique, all of those things that happens on that 60-day window, and you want to be online at 6 a.m. Eastern time to get those, because some of them, especially, well, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique opens at midnight. So, but you definitely want to be on there for those hard to get, or you want to equip your travel agent to be able to do that for you. And so you definitely want to get those narrowed down within that 30 days. So that way, at that opening, you're ready to go.
Yeah, and I think the key strategy in that whole reservation thing is you book your furthest day out. So, if I'm staying a week and my 90-day window hits, that Sunday I fly in, the first thing I'm going to book is whatever I'm doing on Friday, because that's going to have the most availability. And I'm going to work
Yeah.
my way backwards. And we'll get to lightning lanes as well, but you want to do the same thing for your lightning lanes. Your window opens on your first Sunday of your trip, great. You're going to book for that Friday because, that's going to have the most availability working up to your trip. I just heard that strategy probably last year, the year before, and I was like, why have I never even considered
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'll tell clients too is like, especially if you want like an Ohana or, some of the
Chef
ones that are hard to
Mickey's.
get, try to plan those days later in your week, because what happens is you might check in, say you check in on March 1st. And so on January 1st, give or take, your window opens, but somebody who's checking in February, but it overlaps with yours, they can book before you can. And so that's
Yeah.
why it's important to put the ones that mean the most to you at the end of the trip, or be flexible and say, hey, I'll take it for whatever day you can get. And then I'll
Yeah.
kind of rearrange my days if I need to. But it's definitely, that's why I'll always tell people, give me a list of, what you want, but what's priority, because those, then we need to talk about kind of shifting them to the end of your trip, because like you said, the availability is going to be better the further into the trip that you go.
Yeah, what's the website that you can use? I was thinking about when you're thinking about those dining reservations and you can't really plan for the end of the week, but you need to remain flexible. You also need to think about having a plan B
Mm-hmm.
for those hard to get reservations. All right, if I can't be our guest at Magic Kingdom, I'll settle for Skipper Canteen. So on and
Willie's
so forth.
scratching to try to get in an office with me.
Let Willie in.
Yeah.
And there
I
are
don't know which web.
websites. There's one called Mouse Watcher.
Oh,
That's
you
not the
mean like to
one.
help? Yeah, there's mouse
Yeah,
downing, mouse
mouse downing. I think
dining.
that's the one I've used before.
I made you say it wrong.
Thanks, Lord.
Mouse dining.
Yeah,
Yes.
those hard to get reservations. You don't get that Ohana reservation that you need on a Thursday night. Great. You go to Mouse Dining and you say, I'm looking for a reservation at Ohana on March 2nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's going to send you an email when that reservation
Yep.
becomes available. And my gosh, you better be on your phone and
You
you better
better.
be on it quick.
Yes.
I have lost so many
Thankfully,
things because of that.
yes. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that for clients in a while. I feel like now, watch the next one I get, I'm
Yeah.
jinxing myself, and they're not going to get their reservations. But there's been a couple that I've used in the past that aren't there anymore. But I know Mouse Dining, I think, is still one that's available.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, because I used to have a monthly subscription, and you can do like so many a month,
Yeah.
but
And they
I
give
haven't
you
had
like
to use
extra
it.
notifications and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, if it comes in the middle of the night, better have your notifications on if it's that
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah.
too, and I found this week, I mean, not this week, when we were there, there was a lot of availability too. Sometimes if you can't get in advance, things will open up that day. So I always, suggest the clients to keep checking, even while you're there, because something may open up
Yep, definitely.
because of those reservation hoarders that book
The worst.
all of these reservations and then don't really want them, but they're just trying to
Yeah, they
hang
start,
on to them until that drives me
start to
nuts.
shed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same theory goes for all those enchanting extras as well. Just like Lori said, the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutiques, the Savvy's workshop, all those
Troy
things. Just
Depot. Yep.
Yep, be flexible, know your schedule, work with a travel planner, or call Walt Disney World, and they will work with you as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's all we really have for 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. You're preparing, and then on that 60-day window, you get your reservations, and you're good.
Yeah. So let's move to 1 month. It's
Yep.
February 1st, and my trip's on March 1st. What do I need to be prepared for?
Well, one, you need to make sure your trip is paid for.
That's
So
important.
30 days, yes, 30 days from the date of your check-in is when you have to make your final payment. And then once you're paid, you should, all of your activities should be lined up. This is kind of where I'm telling folks, like, if we haven't already arranged airport transportation, and that's something that, if you don't want to take an Uber or Lyft, if you want like a dedicated car service, we want to make sure we have it locked in. You want to do it before that for sure. Or start thinking about, things that you're going to pack. If you need to start getting, like buying extra things, if you want grocery delivery, like if you want to have some things delivered, you don't have to do it that early in advance, but this is kind of when you start thinking about all of those things, the final preparations that you need to make, checking your flights, making sure things are still there if you're flying or if you're driving, just kind of getting the last minute details. This is probably when I start packing, which I know is crazy, but like I'll open up my suitcase and just put it on the floor, which I know drives Josh crazy. Because I have very specific things. Like I have a lot of Disney stuff that I'll wear, or I'm buying new shirts to wear, and I'm only going to wear it at that trip. I mean, I'll wear them after, but so then I just start throwing stuff in my suitcase. Not necessarily like packing it comfortably, but just collecting things and throwing things in there. I have packing lists that I send to clients to kind of give ideas. So, you can just start checking stuff off and making sure that way you're not scrambling at the last minute if you forgot to get something. And then of course, thinking about your lightning lanes, and how you want to, we have that in another section, but at least kind of just start thinking about it. Like by this point you have your dining reservations and your extras done. So you kind of have an idea of which parks you're going to in the morning. So then you can start thinking about, okay, how do I want to start my day and get my rides going?
Yep, definitely. I will say watch, shameless plug, Mammoth Club. Molly McCormick does an excellent deep dive on lightning lanes. She just released her 2026 lightning lane deep dive probably a month ago because it was right before we took our vacation. She goes very in depth on how lightning lane works, how to utilize it, and how to make it fit your day. So not only are you thinking ahead of those lightning lanes, but you want to be very familiar with how that system works. You're booking those 3 lightning lanes, and once that one is used, you're booking the next one. You're keeping track of your touch points when you're in line. You're swiping up and down to make sure your app's refreshed and you're seeing those times. You just want to have a familiarity with how that system works because it is complex. And I am very lucky because either Katie has done it for me or my wife typically does it. I mean, I know how it works, obviously, but they have always taken it over and I've just let them handle it. So, like Lori said, you want to start to get familiar with it. What else was I going to say? I had something else there. I think I was just going to agree with you on the packing thing. Especially during the summer, I don't want to have to scramble to pack all my shorts the night before and run them through the wash. So I'll throw them in there the week before. That way I don't have to worry about what's going in and out of the laundry all the time.
Yeah. No, same. Yeah, I have very specific things depending on the time of year. As far as like shorts and pants and skirts or whatever, my shirts I always feel like. But now I have my own Cricuts. I can make my own shirts.
Yeah.
But before it was like, okay, I need to buy these shirts because I want new stuff every time. You don't want to wear the same stuff and have pictures, with the same. I need new, fresh pictures every time.
Yeah, I have the same stuff in every picture. No shame, I suppose.
So does Josh.
Yeah. When to pivot your strategy. Oh, crowd calendars, weather. If it starts raining while you're at Walt Disney World, don't panic. Don't leave. Just stay in place for like 10 minutes because it's going to stop. And while you're staying in place and it's, it's going to get heavier, everyone's flooding for the exit. So if you let that rain clear up, give it another 10 minutes, those rides aren't going to have a wait time. And that's just something to keep in mind when you're going through your day-to-day and you know rain is in the forecast. Just think about kind of how you want to deal with it. We've sat in Columbia Harbor House for like an hour before because it was just literal downpour.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've gotten soaked a couple of times. I remember one time, it was this one time that my mom came. I'm pretty sure she was there. And like me and Olivia, I'm like, you know what? And Olivia was younger. I'm like, we're at Disney World. Okay, we're just going to play in the rain. Like, we're here. Yeah. I also had flip-flops on, so I didn't have to worry about soaked tennis shoes. However, if I had tennis shoes on, I probably would not. And I'm a little bit older myself, so I'm like, I don't want to get wet. And I'll have, if anybody's interested, we have Bethany. We call it the Bethany poncho because Bethany shared a poncho with us that she got. And so now a lot of us have it. And I think it zips up the middle or snaps. And it has pockets. It's like, like, cause you don't have to like put it over your head. So you got this wet poncho, and it comes with a little pack that you can just hang it. It's great. Perfect poncho.
Shout out Bethany.
Shout out to Bethany. Yes. It's funny because when we were there in December, like a ton of us had it on. And so we took a picture and we all had the Bethany poncho on.
Nice.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't like getting wet. So, but usually it doesn't rain for very long there. It's usually like a little bit. But if it seems to be consistent, then I'm probably peacing out. Like, see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Nah.
Now, and also though, to be fair, I go often. So if it's somebody who doesn't go as often, stick it out because people are going to leave. So the ride lines are going to be shorter. So just stick it out and go on the rides.
Yeah. And also, I think we've talked about this a lot, but if you know it's going to rain, everyone else knows it's going to rain. And all those people with kids, they're going to go back to their resort and they're going to try and get their kids to take a nap for the storm.
Yeah.
So like just capitalizing on that time and thinking through, what.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a game. You literally have to think through like what everyone else is going to do and make your play.
Right.
Yeah. You got anything else? 30 days, 1 month out?
Nah, because I have a few more things, but it kind of more goes with actually booking them. So, and I hit the grocery delivery early. Oh, well.
That's all right. All right. We're 1 week out. What are we doing, Lori?
1 week out, that's when we're booking those lightning lanes. And so, one of the things I had.
Lane?
What's that?
Does, why did the name of your dog just escape my brain?
Oh, Willie, you heard him?
Does Willie get a lightning lane?
Willie needs to get a swift kick in the
rear end.
What? Yes. Somebody, Olivia must have just came home. And so now he's going to go crazy.
Anyways.
Yeah, but one of the things I do, and I still do it as many times as I've been to Disney, I open up the park maps when I'm booking my lightning lanes because and sometimes I'll sacrifice a lightning lane that I want if they don't have a time that works because I'm not going to zigzag across the park.
Yeah.
So I like to have, or even if you don't have the park map open, at least because you can only pick 3 per day. So, but I do open the map just in case if the ones that I want to get maybe don't work and I need to do something else. So, but again, you want to be opens at 7 Eastern time. So you want to be on the app, booking those lightning lanes. If you're blessed enough and you want the premier pass, get that, and you don't have to worry about booking them.
I guess.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me this past week about it selling out. And I'm like, I know that it has sometimes, but I don't know that it sells out every day.
Not often.
Not often, but that's the most important thing is really just securing those lightning lanes, single pass. Just make sure that you're doing it strategically again, so you're not having to zig. There was in one of, I don't know, it was like the tips and tricks Facebook page or group, and they were like, the way they had their stuff, I was like, man, you're gonna be going like from one end of the park to the other. Like, is it doable? And it was in Epcot. And I think they had like, they were gonna rope drop Remy's and then go to Finding Nemo, then go to, I can't remember which one it was, and then go back over to Soarin'. And it was like, yeah, I mean, it's probably doable, but you're wasting
miserable.
a lot of time. Yeah. So make sure you're grouping things together. And then again, if you can't, like if you can't get them together, then pivot, just make sure that you're not driving yourself crazy, because you waste a lot of time and then you won't get as much stuff done.
Yeah, and I think that goes with your next bullet point, which is setting realistic expectations for your group. Never set the bar too high.
Right.
Did I expect Lori to stay all day through Magic Kingdom? No, I lowered my expectations so that way I wasn't butthurt when she wanted to go back.
I made it for most of it though. That's a fair statement though, because I have told y'all many times that I don't normally do that. Like, we don't stay open to close.
Yeah.
So,
whatever expectations you have, let's bring them down a little bit, because some of them, they may happen. Some of them, they will not happen. And you just got to keep trucking through your day.
Yeah. And anything that you get above that is extra. And so you're like, hey, you did more than what you expected to do, but definitely set the bar low. And that way, it's not disappointing if you don't get to do stuff.
Yeah. The bar was on the ground for our trip in January. So anything we got to do was great.
That's nice.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Lori was talking about grocery delivery. I know Amazon does it. Uber, DoorDash, they all do it too, don't they?
I think so. Yeah, I'm an Amazon Fresh. Like, I do Amazon Fresh when I'm at the airport here in New Orleans. I'm doing my Amazon Fresh order, and when I get there, unless you have a Katie who can pick it up.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, or if you have a friend like Katie, just have them pick up your stuff.
Yeah, but I always, because we usually, and we don't get a lot of stuff. It's mainly water.
Yeah. We always get like breakfast foods.
See, I only did it one time. Like, normally when I'm there, I'm like Mickey waffles every morning.
Oh yeah.
But I only did it once this time. So, and we didn't, I think there was some days we didn't even eat breakfast.
Probably.
But yeah, or like if you want to have some fruit, or like if it's during the summer, I'll get, well, now I just bring the little electrolyte packets. But with the kids, one summer we went, teenage kids, I got some Gatorade and stuff like that. So, and a good thing is too, if you forget something and you get there, you can always have it delivered the next day.
Yeah, I do think you made a good point there. The Gatorade, the Powerades, just get some electrolytes, not only in yourself but in your kids. Your kids, they don't want to stop and do anything. We had to sit our boys down and be like, drink this water, drink. And they don't want to drink water. Kids are so pissed when you give them water. Give them some Gatorade.
Yeah.
Put some electrolytes in that water. Make it enticing for them. And then, they're cooling off. They're refueling. It's going to take stress off of you as well, while you also refuel and cool off.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, my boys get so mad when they have water. That's funny. And then, like Lori has said, double check all your times, double check your flights, your transportations. Is Mears picking you up at MCO? Do you have your barcode ready for MCO? When you're at the Mears bus. And Mears is always great too. I don't think we've plugged that here. But if you're looking for a ride from MCO to Walt Disney World and you have a ton of time to kill, take a Mears bus. That's the only thing. I know, Lori, you do Uber. We've done the Mears Connect a couple times, and the only real downfall is if you're in a hurry to get to your resort when you land in Orlando, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only two that I recommend to clients, well, one, if it's just a couple of us, we'll do Uber or Lyft.
Yeah.
The one that I recommend the most, it's a little more expensive though, is Away We Go, because that's a private transfer. And so
yeah.
they'll pick you up and bring you straight to the resort. And then, it's $127 one way. So it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, Mirrors is the other one that I'll book for clients with
It's really
the
easy to book
expectation.
too.
Yeah, that it's shared. So you may have to make multiple stops. And if you don't care, like if you don't have anything planned for that day and you want to have the feel of, the Magic Express that they used to have, go for it. But if not, Lyft is always cheaper than Uber.
Yeah.
And if you can fit, if you don't have a ton of luggage, they also, which Bethany and I was talking about this too, we knew about it, but we never added it to our information. So we're going to add it now, is if you're staying at a deluxe resort, you can also get a minivan.
I think
for
you
a
can get a minivan from
whopping-
anywhere.
No, they just brought it back recently where you can do it from the airport, but it's for deluxe only. But it's
Oh, that's right.
$199 one way.
So expensive.
Yeah. But if you got the
I mean,
money,
Yeah, if you got the money to
and
blow.
yep, and you want to have that experience as soon as you get to the airport, book a minivan.
I'm gonna ask Gabby if we can book a minivan in June. So she can
Just
tell me
get
no.
Katie to decorate her car. Pick
Oh my
y'all up.
gosh, you're right. Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah. Oh, and one of
yeah.
the things too I want to say with looking at this, when you make your dining reservations or even your lightning lanes or whatever, always recommend screenshotting a picture of it.
Oh yeah.
Because there have been instances where it disappears out of the app. And so you're
Mhm.
more than likely to get it reinstated if you have proof that you actually had it.
I actually saw a tip a few years ago. It was not only screenshot it, make it your home screen on your phone. Like of your itinerary. That way you're not like unlocking your phone, going to the app, clicking through all the things. Just screenshot it and set it as the background on your phone. That way you can just, click on your phone and it's all there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I've never done it because I don't have that much dedication, but
Yeah.
all right. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it. Who's ready to book a
All
trip?
right. I
That's
feel like
what I
this
want
was
to
a
know.
really productive episode, and if anyone's ready to book a trip, I'll send you. I can't tell you where I'll send you because I can't have any allegiances to Lori or
Info
Fred. Just both
at
of them.
Going
Yeah.
Beyond the Castle.
Info at goingbeyondthecastle.com.
Yeah.
Well, this was good.
Yeah.
It was nice to kind of like talk through all the steps and everything you needed to kind of get yourself through those steps. So,
Absolutely.
thank you guys for joining tonight. Bethany, Jen, Rob. Is that all we had tonight? No. I mean, are those the people we had tonight? Oh, Fred was here. I guess we never really addressed that Fred's not here. He's lame.
We sure didn't. Well, no, we did
He's-
say in the beginning how it's been a while since it's been just the two of us, but we just totally
went
over that.
Fred's not
Sorry,
here. He's
Fred.
fine. Just a loser.
Yeah.
Thank
he's
you guys.
Tired.
Yeah. Poor thing. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We always enjoy, chatting with you in the chat and talking about our love for Disney and planning and all the other things.
What are we talking about?
Like I
next
said,
week?
like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you'd like to follow us anywhere else out there on the social media, beacons.ai/going beyond the castle. We do have a Discord channel. We don't really chat in it because there's not enough of us. And if we could get like a good following in Discord, I would be a
It'd be
menace.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you and I obviously like to chat. We chat
Yeah, we talk a
when we're
lot.
not super busy. We chat a lot.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, definitely go to Beacons. Check us out on Facebook. Rob was here. Was he the most important person here? No, but he was here. And he'll be back at work tomorrow. So I might call in, honestly, because I've had enough of him this week. And he hasn't even
there
been
you go.
here.
Rob, Ashley's sick. She can't come to work tomorrow.
Man, my throat.
You caught my
Truly.
cough.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob. I won't be in tomorrow. All right. I think that's it. Next week we
Sweet.
are doing the first 3 hours in the
hours.
morning. Yeah, the first 3 hours at Walt Disney World. That should be fun.
What you should be doing.
Yeah, what you should be
Yeah.
doing those first 3 hours.
I'm sleeping. That's what
Lori
I'm
is
doing.
definitely sleeping. I am rope dropping, drinking Alani, and living on a prayer.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, thanks for joining. Everyone have a good week, and we will see you next Thursday right here
Yep.
at Going Beyond the Castle. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.